Hello and welcome. You're with timesofIndia.com. I'm Akash Dasgupta. Now, the one big question that Indian cricket fans in particular, as well as many experts, were asking before the third test match of the ongoing Border-Gavaskar Trophy was, is KL Rahul going to find a place in the Indian playing 11? And we finally have the answer to that. The answer is no. KL Rahul has been dropped from the playing 11 as far as India is concerned for the third test match in Indore at the Holkar Stadium. Now, of course, there has been a lot of talk, a lot of chatter about KL Rahul and whether he deserves to stay on in the Indian team or not, or whether he needs to go back to domestic cricket and find form, especially when it comes to the longest format of the game. So what does this move of dropping KL Rahul from the playing 11 really tell us? The first thing, and perhaps the biggest thing that this tells us, is that breaking point has been reached. Like I mentioned, a lot of talk which went on for quite some time about whether KL deserves a spot in the playing 11 or not. And now it seems like the team management, which is of course made up of Captain Rohit Sharma, head coach Rahul Dravid, as well as other senior members of the Indian cricket team like Virat Kohli, they seem to have felt that it seems to be time for KL to go back to domestic cricket perhaps and find form when it comes to the longer formats of the game, especially of course test cricket. Maybe he can strike a county deal. That is something he himself will of course have to look into. But as things stand right now, thanks to the string of low scores for KL Rahul in test cricket, he has been axed. He's no longer part of the Indian playing 11, at least for this test of the ongoing Border-Gavaskar Trophy. Now, if I can talk about his string of low scores, if you look back at his last 10 test innings, the scores read 8, 10, 12, 22, 23, 10, 2, 20, 17 and 1. His average overall in his test career stands at 33.44. But he, of course, has been struggling to find form for a really, really long time. And it's been a long time since he scored even a half century in Test cricket. In fact, the last time that KL Rahul managed to raise his bat after scoring a half century in Test cricket was when he scored a 50 in the Johannesburg Test in January of 2022. And that was also, coincidentally, the last series in South Africa when he scored his last Test century. Now, one big thing that happened as far as KL Rahul's test career is concerned is, remember, he was removed as vice captain of the team once the BCCI announced the squads for the third and fourth tests of the ongoing Border-Gavaskar Trophy. Someone like Wasim Jaffer, in fact, had said recently that if Rahul had not been vice captain of the Indian team, he perhaps would have been removed much earlier and Shubman Gill would have been brought in. Shubman, remember, has been in tremendous form. And he hasn't yet played a test match this year in 2023. In fact, the last time he played a test match for India was in December of 2022. But now he's got a chance because KL Rahul has been dropped from the Indian playing 11. He, of course, now needs to go back and find form for himself. And the things that really went against Rahul, of course, that average also dipping to about 13.57 if you look at the last 1 year in which he's played about 4 tests. But not just to play devil's advocate here, you have to remember that as far as this particular series is concerned, it's not just Rahul who has struggled. Most of the Indian batsmen have really struggled, barring the likes of Rohit Sharma. In fact, if you look at the top 3 Indian run getters in this Border-Gavaskar Trophy edition so far, the top 3 are Rohit Sharma, Akshar Patel and Ravindra Jadeja. But as things stand right now, KL Rahul is not part of the Indian playing 11.